I struggle to stay on plan. And I think that is a problem a lot of us have. It doesn't matter if you're doing keto, low carb, carnivore, Weight Watchers, the Mediterranean diet. If you're like me and you've had issues with food your entire life, sometimes old habits die hard. Reaching for that instant gratification meal is a cycle that's hard for us to break. I have figured out the best way to get around that. It's called meal prepping. There is a problem with meal prepping for me. I detest cooking, but throughout the week, I want things ready on hand without standing over this bad boy for hours. My meal preps are going to include a few sides, maybe a few main dishes, sweets, desserts, condiments, and do you know what they all have in common? Super simple recipes and ingredients you already have in your pantry. If that sounds right up your alley, make sure you watch this video and some of the others that are in the playlist. There's over 60 easy keto meal prep videos. And I also have an entire playlist of easy keto and low carb recipes. So make sure you check those out too. Let me show you the few things that I'm throwing together this week to keep me on plan. And hopefully it helps you too. Thankfully, there are tons of keto-friendly condiments and sauces that you can find in the grocery store. I haven't found a burger sauce or yum yum sauce that I have fallen in love with, so I make my own, and they're super simple. Let's start out with the burger sauce. It's pretty close to a Big Mac sauce. You're going to want to put all of your ingredients in an airtight container. 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. I like to use the Duke's because there is no sugar added. 2 heaping tablespoons of finely chopped dill pickles. You can use more, you can use less, it's just personal preference. I like to add in 2 teaspoons of the dill pickle juice. If you like a thinner sauce, add more. If you like a thicker sauce, add less. 1 tablespoon of sugar-free ketchup. I pick up the G Hughes. This step is completely optional, but I do like to add in some minced onion. Now you need to add in some keto-friendly sweetener. I like to put in 2 packs of Truvia. No matter which one that you add into your sauce, start out with a little bit, give it a mix, a taste test, and then if you need to add more, you can. If you can make this up a few hours in advance, it gives all of the ingredients time to mingle and those flavors incorporate. I'm going to add the lid and stick this in the refrigerator. It can last about a week. The plan for this week is to make egg roll in a bowl. So I want to prep yum yum sauce in advance. If you're interested in the egg roll in a bowl recipe, I will link it up in the cards and down in the description box. When I get done making this, it's going to look like a lot of yum yum sauce, and that's because I am personally doubling the recipe, but the measurements that I'm going to go over during the video are what you would use if you just want a normal amount. This is also best to store in an airtight container and try to make it in advance. That way the flavors are going to be richer. I'm going in with the Duke's mayonnaise again. It's going to be 1 1/4 cup mayo, another repeat customer, G Hughes sugar-free ketchup. Add in 1 tablespoon of that, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 cup of water. Do not add ice cold water because we're going to be putting butter in this and it'll just solidify the butter. You can either use lukewarm or room temperature water. 1 tablespoon of melted butter. Now before I add the sweetener, I like to go ahead and give this a quick whisk. Make sure there's no lumps or clumps and everything is mixed well. You can add up to a tablespoon of keto-friendly sweetener, but I like to add it in gradually. How much you end up using is going to be personal preference. Once you have all the ingredients added in and it tastes perfect, if you want a thinner consistency of yum yum sauce, you can add more water. Just stir in a little at a time until you get it just right. Stick it in the refrigerator. Make sure it's in an airtight container. If you can make this up in advance so that the flavors have time to incorporate, it's going to be better. Typically, I'll make it at least the night before. I want to make sure I have something in the refrigerator just in case we need a quick lunch. So I'm going to go with chicken salad. I always keep it as simple as possible. That way the carb count is going to be low. I like to use the cans of all white meat chunk chicken breast from Sam's Club. I drain all of the liquid off of that and then I dump it into a glass container. Once in the glass container, I take a fork and I break those chunks apart because I like my chicken shredded. I'm going to add in a spoonful of mayo, some chopped up Wickles pickles. You can use whatever your favorite pickles are. I like these because they're the dirty deal, so they're a little spicy. And I'll also add in, you guessed it, just a little bit of the pickle juice. Give all those ingredients a quick mix. Then you can add any seasonings you want like salt or pepper. Add the lid, store in the refrigerator, and you've got a quick lunch. This is about 3 servings in our household. We will be grilling out hot dogs this week, and I like slaw on my dog. I'm going to be making the one I found on Keto Ginger's YouTube channel. This is another one of those recipes that's better if you make it at least the night before. I'm using 1 cup of Duke's mayo, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. Salt and pepper to taste, although the recipe says 1/4 teaspoon of each. 1 heaping tablespoon of swerve. And I'm talking about the granular type of sweetener. Mix all of those ingredients together. Once you have that slaw dressing just the way you like it, then add in your tri-colored coleslaw mix. This is the one I like to pick up. It is from Walmart's The Market side. It has the green cabbage, carrots, and red cabbage. Add it to your bowl and then give it all a quick mix. Add your lid and then refrigerate at least overnight. This is a great recipe. I give it 5 stars. Thumbs up, Keto Ginger. We like sweets in this household, and I do not plan on giving them up anytime soon. Can't be keto chocolate cake. This recipe card came in a recent Keto Chow subscription box. Here's your recipe, your ingredients, how to prepare it. I'm preheating my oven at 350 degrees. Then I'm going to put all of my ingredients into one big bowl, starting out with Blue Diamond almond flour. This is my favorite almond flour. I've tried them all. It's the only one I use. Add 3/4 cup of almond flour to your bowl, 1 serving of chocolate keto chow, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. I'm using the Hershey's chocolate cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 3 eggs, 1 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 2/3 cup sour cream, 3 ounces of melted butter, 1/2 cup of granular erythritol, 1/2 cup of sugar-free chocolate chips. Now that everything is added to the bowl, you're going to want to take an electric mixer. You can use either a handheld or a freestanding, and you're going to want to let that mix until it's light and fluffy. I'm going to divide them out into 12 equal portions in my silicone cupcake molds. I'm going to start with 15 minutes and then come back and check. These are done. They stayed in approximately 20 minutes. You do not want to overbake them. I'm going to put them on a wire rack and let them cool completely before I pull them out. I decided to go ahead and taste test one, and I want you to see how light, fluffy, and moist these are on the inside. There is a chocolate ganache recipe that came on this card, but we're not planning on eating all of these immediately. I'm going to put 7 of them in a glass container, add the lid, and I'm going to stick them in the refrigerator. I'm going to leave 5 of these out for us to eat on over the next few days, and those are the ones I'm going to top with chocolate. The ganache recipe is 1/2 cup heavy cream, 4 tablespoons of sugar-free chocolate chips, and 1 tablespoon of salted butter. Since I'm only going to be topping 5 of these with the ganache, I'm going to cut this recipe in half. You can either dip the little cakes down into the chocolate, or you can spoon it out over top. Then give it a few minutes to set. These cakes turned out beautifully. This will be a repeat recipe in this house. I mean, seriously, look at these beauties. They are perfect. Now it's time to prep some meats for the week. I recently bought a massive package of chicken breasts from Sam's Club. I'm going to trim the fat off that, then cube it up. I want to marinate it. This is the Kinders or Kinders. You guys let me know. 0 sugar teriyaki with sesame and ginger. 1 tablespoon is 5 calories and 3 carbs. We're not going to be using that much. I'm going to coat the bottom of this dish with the marinade. That way, as I cube up the chicken and throw it in, it's going to get coated quicker. Give it a quick stir, and then I'm going to see if I need to add any more, which I do. Continue to mix till everything is coated. But I don't want to put too much on here because I don't want to waste it. I'm adding the lid and then putting the chicken in the refrigerator to let it marinate at least for the next day or 2. Believe me, marinating your chicken makes a difference. We had some thin sliced center cut pork chops in the freezer. I set them out in the fridge overnight so that they could thaw. I'm going to add Flavor God to these. To some of them, I'm going to add the steak and chop rub, and to a few of the others, I'm going to add the Cajun lovers. If you have not tried Flavor God seasonings, you are missing out. They have given us that discount code that's in the description box, so when you order, you're going to save money. Taking them outside to put them on the Blackstone, that way they all get done at once and within minutes. We did add butter to the Blackstone. That's given it a little bit of extra flavor, and it managed to crisp up the edges. I'm going to let these cool, put on the lid, and then store them in the fridge. That wasn't so bad. Now was it? If I mentioned any videos or discounts or products in today's video, everything will be linked down in the description box, along with some of my favorite items, kitchen appliances, things that have just made this journey a lot easier. So make sure you go down there and scroll around, see what you can find. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And remember, if you've not subscribed yet, go ahead, because I'd love to have you as a member of my YouTube family. And always check to see if that notification bell has been hit. That way, every single time I upload, you'll be alerted. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you have an amazing week. Bye.